Hi guys, it's Ali. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing a review, swatch, and a demo of the brand new Beauty Bay X Jade palette. So if you guys want the tea on this palette as well as a little tutorial on the look that I'm rocking today, then go ahead and keep on watching. For those of you guys who don't know, Jade is a member of a girl group here in the UK called Little Mix, but I'm pretty sure they're fairly big in the US as well. I've got a friend in the States who's a massive fan, like she's seen them live and everything. But Beauty Bay have collabed with Jade to create this palette right here. So this is what the packaging of the palette looks like. So it is very much based on like spirituality, astrology, all that kind of stuff. And honestly, when this collaboration was announced, I was torn. On one hand, I was really excited about the collaboration, but then on the other, I was really apprehensive about whether or not I'd like this palette or not, just because when I saw the reveal, it looked a little bit all over the place. It did, but I will say that it does look a lot better in person, and there is a lot that you can do with this palette. I'm gonna go ahead and open it because I'm just holding it up without showing you guys what it looks like on the inside. But this is the color story for this palette. So it is very colorful. But the thing that I found when looking at the palette in front of me is that it's colorful in a way that there's so much that you can do with this palette. As you can see, there are some browns over here, so we've got some very neutral type of looks, you know, everyday kind of looks. We've got some blues, and how I like describe it is that it's like all 4 seasons into one palette. We've got your spring colors, your summer colors, your autumn fall colors, a little bit of an autumn look going on today, and then you've got your winter colors. It does retail for £30, which does actually make it one of Beauty Bay's most expensive palettes. So this is up there price wise, but you do get 42 shades in this palette. So if you double one of the other ones, it's kind of the same in theory. But yeah, I'm just here to give the tea, you know. So what I'm gonna do, because these shades are screaming at me, is I'm gonna swatch the shimmers first because I'm just too excited. I can't not swatch them. And then there's a lot of shades in here to swatch though. But I suppose once we get through with the shimmers, then we can kind of narrow it down. I'm hoping anyway. So yeah, let's do the shimmers and then we'll see how we go with the mattes. And then we'll do this look. Oh wow, okay, so I've just done the first one. I was gonna do my whole arm and then show you, but look how stunning that shade is. That's so pretty. I couldn't fit the last 2 shimmers on my arm, so I swatched them on the back of my hand. But this is what they look like. And I'm going to show you guys the rest of the shimmers. So these are the rest of the shimmers in the palette. And if there is one thing that Beauty Bay does well, it's shimmers. These are absolutely to die for. I feel like the camera isn't doing them justice, but I do have some definite favorites in here. Like this one, which I know is called Alien. This one is, I think, Sunshine Skin. And then I really like this green called Jaded. And this is also a very pretty emeraldy, foresty. I just love it. I'm so here for these shimmers. So that was all of the shimmers, which are pretty much all of the shades in here with my fingerprint dent in them. I'm going to try and do as many of the mattes as I can fit onto my arm. If I can't fit them all, sorry. But I literally cannot sit and swatch every single shade. Like, it's like 9-10 o'clock in the evening and I want to sleep. So I made it work and I managed to squash all of the mattes on basically half of my arm, so I could have extended it if I wanted to, but this is all of the matte shades. As you guys can see, there is a lot going on in this palette shade wise, and just imagine that this isn't all of the shades. There are still the shimmers on top of this. So there is a lot you can do with this palette. You've got your blues, your greens, your pinks, your oranges, your reds, your purples, you know, and just different variants of those shades as well. So there's a lot. That's why I feel like depending on the type of person you are when it comes to palettes and how you like them to look and aesthetics and things like that, you're either going to really gravitate towards this palette or you're going to be a bit, I don't know. So I'm hoping that this video helps you, you know, I don't know, I don't want to say make a decision because maybe there's no decision to be made for you, but just to help you assist, you know, I've got swatches, I've got a demo, I've got comments about the formula, everything like that. If you're someone who does like hearing other people's opinions like I am, then I'm hoping that this video is going to help you. But of course, I have shown you the swatches and I've talked about the formula and everything like that, but I haven't shown you guys how the shadows perform. So now I'm going to go ahead and skip to the demo where I show you guys how I achieved this look using this palette. As always, I'm going down with a base first, and today it's the P. Louise Rumor 2.5, and I'm just going to cover my lid in this because we've all seen what happens when I don't cover my lid. So I put a generous amount on, and then I just go ahead and disperse the product using, well, I use a dry sponge because I don't see a reason for it to be wet. When I did this eye off camera, I started out and brought the colours in and it just didn't work out for me, so I'm going to stick to what I usually do, which is starting with my crease shade, and it's typically the deeper shade that I'm going to use, and today it's this one over here, Angel of the North, and it's like, or it is a burgundy, I'm going to say it's a burgundy, but this shade I'm going to start right here. Look at the pigment. So I'm starting this shade out and I'm just dragging it out like this, because if you see on this eye it does come out the way, and then I'm just going to fill in the rest of my crease just like this. This look hopefully shouldn't take too long. I deliberately did a look that didn't have like a ton of steps because I realized that the past few looks that I've done required a lot, and sometimes we're just not here for that, you know. Sometimes we want quick and easy, we want to just and go. So that's what I've tried to do with this one. There's our base shade and sort of the shape that I want down. I'm gonna take this red shade, Red Planet, next, and this I'm gonna blend into the edge of the first shade towards the brow bone. They're basically being mixed together. I'm just blending until I'm satisfied that the two shades have blended together. What shade is that? Space Jam. Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to take this orange shade, Space Jam, and this shade I'm going to try to squeeze in just because I want a lighter shade over, just to make sure that it's like, it's all just meshing well. And now I'm going back down in the reverse order, so back into Red Planet and just reinforcing the red. And I'm doing the same thing with the burgundy, Angel of the North, and I'm really making sure to get this shade in there. So formula wise, I realized that I'm in like 3 shades deep and I haven't actually spoken about the palette, but formula wise it's nothing out of the ordinary that I'd expect from Beauty Bay. I'm typically more of a fan of the smaller palettes. I find that formula is slightly different, but these, they're doing what they need to do. I have no complaints so far. Everything is going well. They're blending together. The formula is easy to use. Like, it's not time consuming at all. So what I did with this eye over here, because I wanted a little bit more depth than what the burgundy was giving, is that I took this shade right here. I cannot pronounce this word. It looks like it says tourmaline or tourmaline, something like that. Don't know, but I've never heard of that word before. So I'm dipping into this black, and with the black, I initially started it just in the corner here, but then I realized that I kind of wanted to take it in over here, but not to the point where I do a halo eye. So I'm not too sure what the reason I did it there was, but because I did it here, I'm doing it on this eye as well. And then I just sort of swept the burgundy shade between the two like this, and went over the black with the burgundy as well, and just blended everything together. See the depth that it added? I'm here for depth. I think I'm fairly happy with how this is looking right now. I am just sort of just going to add a shimmer on top using my finger, so it's not like a precision cut crease kind of deal. So I am using this beautiful, beautiful shade right here called Sunshine Skin, and it's sort of like an orangey copper, and I just think it looks amazing, especially for the season as well. I feel like it's very autumnal, you know? Like, look how pretty. So I'm just doing a general shape with this. I'm back in with the burgundy black mix, just at the end here. And this is just to neaten up the way that that gold comes in at the end. That it's not just like there, you know? Like, I want all the shades to sort of merge together. Now I'm taking this trio of products, and this is just what I use to add depth and to prepare for my lashes. So I've got my Kiko liner for the lower lash line, I've got my liquid liner for the upper lash line, and then I've got my mascara. That's as far as I'm going to do the eyes without my base being done. I feel like if I do any more, the base is literally just going to rub it all off. So I'm going to do my base and come back. So sit tight, grab a drink, grab some popcorn, I don't know, do whatever you want to do, and I'll be back. So this is where the look is now. As you guys can see, it has intensified a little bit. We did go in with a deep lip, and it is just the Fenty Stunner Lip Paint in the shade Underdog. I don't know if this shade is one that you can still get. It was a Christmas launch a couple years ago. I think they might have released a full-sized one. I don't know. I think they did. So yeah, if you do like the look of this lip, this is the one that I am wearing. I thought it would just tie in really nicely with the look that we've got going on today, but this is where we're at. And I feel like because the lip has deepened up, I am going to smoke out the lower lash line a little bit just to finish off this look, so we can, you know, wrap up this video. Oh, or should I have done burgundy and orange? Am I making the same mistake I made in the beginning? Should I have used a smaller brush? No. I like it. I literally cannot resist using a gold for my inner corner, especially for a look like this. And the gold that I'm seeing in here is just calling me because it looks so multi-dimensional. So I am using this shade right here, Alien. Look how stunning that shade is. It's super pretty. So I'm going to take some of this on my brush. If it will come, yeah. And I'm just gonna dazzle them. Yeah, I've picked up a lot and it's taking up the wrong shape now, but it's super, super pretty. Yeah, this I kind of messed up a little bit, but I don't care. I love the brightness of that though. I think that's really, really pretty. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it a day for the look. I think this is how I'm gonna leave it. I'm quite happy with the way it looks. I'm really loving matching my hoodies and my tops and everything to the makeup looks that I do. I feel like it just adds an aesthetic that's just pleasing to look at. I typically like to match my nails as well, but I didn't do my nails today because, I mean, look, I've been tired, okay? Life is stressful, it really is. But we're not gonna sit here and watch me boohoo about my life. So final thoughts on the palette, well, first impressions, but final thoughts is I actually really like it. As much as I wish there was a little bit more organization in the shades and how everything's like laid out, I do get it. I do understand the concept behind it, and I do quite like that there's so many different shades in here. It sort of reminds me of the Dream Big palette by Be Perfect. It's another one of those palettes where the shades just sort of seem randomly thrown in there, but there's a lot that you can do in here. There's some neutral looks, some brown looks, some autumnal looks, some summer looks, spring, winter. We've got every season covered in this palette, and the formula is absolutely to die for. So yeah, I actually do quite like this palette, and I think that £30 is, you get more than what you pay for. That's how I feel personally about this palette, and it's just because I feel like Beauty Bay, they nail the formula. There isn't a palette that I have used of theirs where I've been like And as far as the £42 palettes go, I think this is my favourite. I do. There is, of course, the OG colour palettes by Beauty Bay, but this one is like an elevation of all of the £42 palettes combined into one. And yeah, the shimmers are absolutely my favourite thing about this palette. I love, love, love the way the shimmers look. Absolutely to die for. I'm just here for it. I'm here for the palette. And I think that this collaboration was a success. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. I do film a lot of makeup content. If that's the kind of thing you're into, then yeah, join the family, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.